According to General Hospital spoilers, Josh Kelly just addressed why he went off contract and what this implies for Cody's future at GH. Kelly acknowledged in an interview with SOD that he chose to drop down to recurring status, but that doesn't mean he's eager to leave the program. In fact, Kelly acknowledged that he would like to stay around indefinitely and continue to bring Cody to life. "I'd like to stay on General Hospital forever," Kelly insisted. However, the GH actor had valid reasons for desiring a more flexible schedule. Josh Kelly is preparing to film a movie with his real-life girlfriend Chloe Lanier. That will take 2 months to accomplish and will require Kelly's full focus. Kelly is also going to film the sequel to The Workout, which will be released this summer. Kelly understood he couldn't preserve his contract status while also doing all of the outside work he wanted. "I just wouldn't be able to do that if I was on contract. You don't get to go off and work on other projects. And I wouldn't expect the show to accommodate my schedule," Kelly explained. That's why Kelly opted to forego the deal and become a regular player. Kelly stated that when he made the pitch, he made it clear that this was a flexibility problem and expressed his desire to remain on the show. So far, the new arrangement is working well, since Cody remains at the heart of a big storyline. Despite Cody's obvious feelings for Molly Lansing Davis, Christina Corinthos Davis has been striving to keep them apart and Cody focused on the task at hand. Cody is supposed to be distracting Ava Jerome on Christina's orders, but the issue is also becoming more problematic. Cody appears to genuinely enjoy Ava's company, but Tracy Quartermain's discussion about self-respect had a significant impact on him, as he had just bailed on his date. More drama is coming in this sizzling narrative, but Kelly admits he's hoping for a fresh love interest. Kelly has a certain woman in mind for his character's partner. "I won't quit the show until they let Cody date Tracy," Kelly declared, laughing. Bottom line, Josh Kelly is willing to continue on GH, as long as the powers that be allow it. Kelly's outside employment may keep him busy at times, but he hopes Cody has a long-term future in Port Charles. According to General Hospital spoilers, Cody still has some surprises in store, so we'll keep you updated on any scandalous news or heated confrontations that may occur. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, August 12th, state that Scout Quartermain will go missing, while Willow Tate becomes enraged with Lucas Jones. Britt Westbourne will also meet Vaughn, so expect some startling developments on Tuesday's GH episode. Lulu Spencer will start by asking the most creative person she knows for help. Will Lulu make another pitch to Carly Spencer? Or will she find someone else to help with her Liesel Albrecht mission? Carly will sit down for a tough chat with Marco Rios. Before they proceed, Carly will feel compelled to make things very plain. Carly may take a moment to express her unshakable support for Sonny Corinthos, as well as her feelings for Lucas. This is a tricky scenario, but Carly may support Lucas' connection as long as Marco does not break his heart. Giovanni Gio Palmieri will presume Emma Scorpio Drake's plot is over. Emma will not believe that, and she will have a backup plan, which will most likely include getting into Professor Henry Hank Dalton's laboratory. Emma will not give up on getting inside, so Gio will promise to help her and may take the initiative, as he previously stated. That might create the stage for Gio to get caught and face major legal consequences. On Tuesday's episode, Harrison Chase will be dealing with some urgent orders. Someone will press Chase to make an arrest. Will this concern Gio or another case instead? Drew will soon receive a phone call concerning Scout's disappearance, so he may point the blame and demand an arrest. Could Drew suspect this is revenge for threatening Jen Sidwell recently? Of course, it could be a false alert if Scout simply went off or there was some communication breakdown. Drew will cope with some Scout-related problems and have an awkward encounter with Willow. Willow will also go off on Lucas at one point, claiming that if anyone should understand, it's him. Willow will have another outburst and act as if Lucas is being unjust to Michael Corinthos about the kids. Jason Morgan will meet with Alexis Davis before flying to Croatia. Jason will soon be on his way to the Five Poppies Resort in Dalmatia, where Britt will be driving a hard bargain. "You give me what I want, you get results," Britt argues in Tuesday's GH preview video. Britt will play hardball with Pascal to ensure that she can continue to obtain her medicine doses. Vaughn and Jocelyn Jacks will plan their strategy over breakfast in bed in their suite. Although Vaughn will make a suggestion for their next step, Jocelyn will believe she has a superior plan. Vaughn will later meet Britt and help her with some sunscreen, so Jocelyn will be surprised when she sees them together from a distance. According to General Hospital spoilers, Jocelyn will be taken aback by the news that Britt is still alive, so stay tuned for updates on how she will react. Despite this change in status, Kelly quickly dispelled any notions that he intends to quit General Hospital. On the contrary, he professed strong feelings for the show and its actors, saying, "I want to stay on General Hospital forever." This enthusiastic declaration has reassured fans who were concerned that Cody Bell's time in Port Charles was coming to an end. Kelly's decision to transfer to recurring status was not due to discontent with the program, but rather a strategic move that would allow him to pursue other chances while continuing to play Cody. He approached the show's creators, notably executive producer Frank Valentini, openly about his plans, emphasizing that his need for flexibility was about balancing his career goals, not about leaving the soap. Valentini, who has previously worked with Kelly on One Life to Live, was supportive of the actor's decision, even adjusting dates to accommodate Kelly's work on The Workout. Kelly thanked Valentini for his efforts, stating that the producer bent over backwards to accommodate his simultaneous commitments, though the actor conceded that handling both films occasionally left him feeling stretched thin. Kelly's transition to recurring status has proven to be a successful arrangement, as she continues to play an important role in General Hospital's current storylines. Cody Bell, the long-lost son of Max Scorpio and Dominique Baldwin, has become ingrained in the fabric of Port Charles thanks to intricate relationships and dramatic stories. Cody has recently become engaged in a juicy narrative involving Ava Jerome, Maura West, and sisters Molly Lansing Davis and Christina Corinthos Davis, Kristen Vaganos and Kate Monsey, respectively. In this arc, Christina hires Cody to distract Ava, who is blackmailing her, resulting in a web of intrigue that includes Molly's father, Rick. This plot has given Kelly the opportunity to demonstrate his acting abilities as he navigates Cody's conflicted emotions, his growing love for Molly, his convoluted arrangement with Ava, and the moral quandaries provided by Christina's plan. Kelly praised this storyline as fun and interesting, and expressed excitement about continuing to follow Cody's progress on the show. Cody's romantic prospects have piqued fans' interest, and Kelly has some ideas about where he wants to take his character's love life. While the program has teased a romance between Cody and Molly, Kelly joked that he's hoping for a pairing with Tracy Quartermaine, played by Jane Elliott. "I won't quit the show until they let Cody date Tracy," he joked, stressing Cody's great on-screen connection with Tracy, who has become the character's valued confidant. This amusing statement demonstrates Kelly's fondness for the program and his satisfaction of working with the great ensemble cast, particularly Elliott, West, Vaganos, and Monsey. He referred to General Hospital as the hardest and best acting gymnasium in the world, demonstrating the grueling but rewarding nature of soap opera employment, in which actors must provide emotionally charged performances on a tight timeline. Kelly's experience with General Hospital and the soap opera industry provides context for his desire to seek flexibility. Before joining the show as Cody in 2022, he was known to daytime viewers for his portrayal as Cutter Wentworth on One Life to Live, where he worked under Valentini's direction. Kelly has an outstanding history outside of soaps, having been in programs such as Unreal, Midnight, Texas, and Bluff City Law, as well as notable films like as Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen and Transformers, Dark of the Moon. More recently, he appeared as Detective Archer on an episode of NCIS Origins that aired on February 10, 2025, sparking speculation about his commitment to General Hospital. Kelly, on the other hand, indicated that this was only a temporary position, and that his role as Cody would be secure for the foreseeable future. His diversified career demonstrates his ability as an actor, but it also underlines the difficulty of juggling several assignments, which most likely impacted his choice to transition to recurring status. Fans were originally concerned about Kelly's status change, especially given Cody's growing importance on the program. Cody has progressed from a rogue arrival to a figure with strong links to the Scorpio family and complicated interactions with major players in Port Charles. His discovery that Sasha Corbin, with whom he formerly had love interests, is his cousin provided emotional depth to the character, while his friendship with Tracy and present involvement with Ava, Molly, and Christina have placed him at the center of the show's turmoil. Kelly's commitment to the character, despite his off-contract situation, is reassuring to fans who have engaged in Cody's journey. The recurrent arrangement allows the show to continue using Kelly's talents while also providing him the option to seek other opportunities, resulting in a win-win situation that reflects the changing nature of television production. Looking ahead, Kelly's comments indicate that Cody Bell's future in Port Charles looks promising, with more turmoil and perhaps romance on the way. The present subplot, which concerns Cody's questionable decision to collaborate with Christina to distract Ava, is likely to cause problems, notably with Molly, who may be upset to learn about Cody's actions. Kelly has hinted that Cody's decisions may lead to friction, with Tracy possibly delivering some pointed advice on self-respect and ethics. This development promises to keep Cody in the center of the action, giving Kelly plenty of material to demonstrate his acting abilities. Fans are also intrigued by Cody's chances of finding love, whether with Molly, Ava, or the unlikely yet entertaining option of Tracy. Kelly's excitement for the character and the show's creative direction indicate that he is entirely committed to Cody's journey, even as he pursues other projects. The broader context of Kelly's choice illuminates the realities of working on daytime television. Soap operas like General Hospital need a huge time commitment from their actors, with long hours and tight production schedules that might make it difficult to pursue alternative work. Moving to recurring status is a reasonable approach for an actor like Kelly who wants to do more than only soap operas. It allows him to continue working on a popular show, while still exploring film and television jobs that match with his professional aspirations. This adaptability is especially vital in an industry where chances are often unanticipated and actors must take them as they emerge. Kelly's ability to negotiate this agreement with General Hospital's producers demonstrates his close relationship with the show and their mutual respect. For General Hospital viewers, the news that Kelly will not be leaving the show is a huge relief, but it also shows the uncertainty that may come with contract changes. The soap opera industry is infamous for its ups and downs, and fans are used to seeing beloved characters leave unexpectedly. Kelly's candor about his decision helps to allay those concerns by providing a view into the industry's hidden realities. His dedication to General Hospital, combined with his enthusiasm for Cody's present and future storylines, suggests that viewers may look forward to seeing more of the character in the coming months, even if Kelly's visits may be less regular due to his other endeavors. Finally, Josh Kelly's decision to leave General Hospital was a calculated move to strike a balance between his love of the show and his desire to seek other creative opportunities. Cody Bell's enthusiasm for General Hospital, as evidenced by his effusive words and thanks to the show's creators and cast, promises fans that he will be a presence in Port Charles for the foreseeable future. Kelly's current plot, which is full of sexual tension and moral depth, serves as a solid basis for her to continue delivering engaging performances. Kelly's recurring status provides the best of both worlds as he balances his employment on General Hospital with films such as the one with Chloe Lanier and the sequel to The Workout. For viewers, this means more chances to witness Cody manage the turmoil of Port Charles, whether he's fighting with Ava, bonding with Tracy, or pursuing a romance with Molly. As General Hospital continues to tell its complex stories, Josh Kelly's participation, even on a regular basis, guarantees that Cody Bell's journey remains a highlight of the show. Lucas was in the shed, tinkering with the old motorcycle he had promised to repair for months. The shed door creaked as she yanked it open, and the aroma of oil and rust hit her like a wave. He was stooped over the bike, holding a greasy cloth in one hand and a wrench in the other, his dark hair flowing into his face. The sight of him, so serene and indifferent, triggered something hot and jagged within her. "Lucas," she murmured, her voice hard. "Scout's gone." He looked up, his brow furrowing, and wiped his hands on the rag. "What do you mean by gone?" he inquired, his tone too nonchalant, as if she had forgotten a set of keys. She clenched her hands, nails digging into her palms. "Gone. Not in the yard, not near the home. The gate is locked. He's not here." Her words came faster and harsher, each one a missile aiming at his complacency. Lucas arose, lowering the wrench with careful slowness that made her want to scream. "He probably just wandered off," he muttered, brushing past her and heading to the yard. "Dogs do it. He'll show up." His dismissal sounded like gasoline on fire. She followed him, her steps heavy and her breath quick. "He doesn't just wander off," she retorted. You understand that. He has never done this before. Something is wrong. Lucas turned, his hands on his hips, his expression a mix of frustration and anxiety. Willow, you are overreacting. He is a dog. He'll be back by lunch. The word struck her like a slap. Overreacting. The allegation hurt not because it was new, but because it was so old, a mantra he'd used any time her emotions crossed the line of what he considered reasonable. She moved closer, her voice falling to a low, threatening pitch. Don't you dare say I'm overreacting. Scout isn't just a dog. He is a family member. And you're standing there as if it's nothing, as if you don't care. Her hands shook, and she despised how obvious it was, how her body betrayed the storm within her. Lucas' jaw stiffened and his gaze narrowed. I care, okay? But panicking out won't help you find him. Let's simply look around and check the trails. He turned away, walking toward the dirt path that led into the woods behind the cabin. She wanted to grab him, shake him, and make him feel the panic in her throat, but instead she followed, her boots sinking into the soft dirt as they proceeded deeper into the woods. The woodland was deep, and the shade of towering pines kept the air colder. They split up, with Lucas pursuing the eastern trail and Willow heading west, yelling Scout's name till her throat ached. The woods were quiet save for the occasional snap of a twig or the distant cry of a hawk. Every rustle had her heart racing, only to crash when it was a squirrel or a falling branch. Her thoughts raced with possibilities. Coyotes, a concealed sinkhole, or someone snatching him. The final thought made her stomach lurch. Scout was affable and too trusting, the type of dog who would wag his tail at strangers. She pushed the thought aside and concentrated on the path, her eyes searching for any sign of him. A paw print, a fluff of fur, anything. Hours passed, the sun rose higher, and sweat beaded on her brow despite the cool air. She met Lucas at the trail fork, his face hot from the climb but unreadable. Anything? She inquired, her voice raw. He shakes his head. We checked the creek and the old logging road. Nothing. She wanted to shout, asking why he wasn't as distraught as she was, but the words stuck in her throat. Instead, she turned back to the cabin, her knees heavy and her chest tense. We need to check town, she added without looking at him. Someone might have seen him. Lucas groaned, which irritated her frazzled nerves. Willow, let's just wait a little. He might return on his own. She turned around him, her eyes burning. Wait? Do you want me to sit here while he is out there terrified, wounded, or worse? You don't understand, do you? You never have. Her voice broke and she despised it, the tears in her eyes and how small she felt. Lucas' face hardened. I understand, Willow. But you are acting as if I don't give a damn, which is not fair. I'm trying to help, she said, laughing bitterly and jaggedly. Trying? You're hardly here. You're constantly in that blasted shed, or with your cronies, or any place but with me when I need you. The words came out unrestrained, years of simmering rage boiling over. Lucas fixed his gaze on her, his lips drawn tight. Isn't that what this is about? It is not simply Scout. It's me. You're constantly looking for an excuse to tear into me. She wanted to deny it, to insist it was all for Scout, but the truth of his words hurt. She turned aside, her throat burning, and returned to the cabin. I'm going to town, she announced over her shoulder. Come or don't. The journey to town was a jumble of meandering roads and unformed anxieties. The main street was peaceful, the kind of midweek stillness that covers little towns like a blanket. Willow parked near the general shop, her hand still holding the steering wheel as she attempted to catch her breath. She didn't wait for Lucas, who had arrived in his pickup, his presence a subtle weight behind her. She arrived at the store and showed the clerk a photo of Scout on her phone, her voice steady but anxious as she inquired whether anyone had seen him. The cashier shook his head, empathetic yet unhelpful. She proceeded on to the diner, the post office, and the gas station, each one bringing a new stab of despair. Outside the hardware store she met Vaughn. He was leaning against the wall, a cigarette dangling from his lips, and his black eyes followed her as she approached. She didn't know him well. No one did. Vaughn was new to town, a vagrant who had arrived a few months before, working odd jobs and keeping to himself. He had a way of looking at you that made you feel like he saw more than you wanted to. His stare was keen and unwavering. You look like hell, he whispered quietly, rough around the edges. She bristled, not in the mood to make small talk. My dog is missing, woman remarked, bringing up her phone containing Scout's photo. Have you seen him? Vaughn took a drag from his cigarette, gently exhaling as he inspected the photograph. Golden retriever, correct? I saw one near the old mill yesterday. She appeared lost. Her heart lurched, hope and fear mingling. Where exactly? She inquired, coming closer. He pointed to the outside of town, where the road curves past the abandoned mill. By the river. Didn't think much of it at the time. She nodded and turned to leave, but his voice stopped her. You're Willow, correct? Live on Pine Ridge? She paused, startled at the shift. Yeah. Why? He shrugged, a slight smile forming on his lips. I just heard about you. You are a teacher, correct? People talk. She had no idea what to make of it, or how his gaze lingered on her, as if he was sewing her together. Lucas then emerged, his pickup driving up alongside them. He walked out, his gaze shifting between Willow and Vaughn, a muscle ticking in his jaw. Who is this? He inquired, his tone harsh. Willow dismissed the harshness in his voice. Vaughn saw Scout by the mill, she remarked, already approaching her car. Lucas followed, but not before giving Vaughn a warning glance. Vaughn only smirked, flicking his cigarette to the ground and crushing it beneath his boot. The mill was a dilapidated antique, its walls covered in moss and graffiti. The riverbed was overgrown, the water slow and dark. Willow called Scout's name, and her voice echoed off the rusting machinery. Lucas studied the opposite bank, his silence thick from their earlier conflict. She tried to focus, to suppress her wrath and terror, but it was like trying to grasp water in her hands. Then she noticed it. A flash of gold in the undergrowth. Her heart has stopped. Scout! She yelled, dashing toward it, her boots slipping on the wet ground. It was him, huddled up beneath a tangle of roots, his fur matted with filth. He groaned as she knelt alongside him, his left paw stuck in an ancient trap, the metal corroded but unbreakable. She shouted out for Lucas, her voice breaking with relief and dread. He was there in seconds, his hands steady as he worked to release Scout. For once, there was no argument or distancing between them, just a mutual need to save something they both valued. Scout licked her face, his tail thumping softly as the trap gave way. She clutched him close, tears flowing down her cheeks, the weight of the day crashing down around her. Lucas laid his hand on her shoulder, cautious, as if he wasn't sure it was welcome. She did not draw away. Vaughn's tip had been correct, but as they carried Scout back to the truck, Willow couldn't resist the suspicion that there was more to his narrative. His knowing glance, the way he spoke her name lingered, like a puzzle she lacked the energy to solve. For the time being, Scout was safe, which was sufficient. But when she looked at Lucas, his face softened with relief. She wondered how long it would be before the next fracture formed, and whether they'd be strong enough to repair it.